It just crashed. So it's still live. I can't even get it to turn off. So StreamYard's just going and going and going. I don't know how this works with me being live. I just decided to go live on my phone because that didn't mess up last time. So, but I guess I'll pick up where I left off. I don't know what you guys heard and what you guys didn't hear. I was giving the update on the sex trafficking victim that I came in contact with. I'll have to go back and listen to that live stream and see how choppy it was, how bad it was. You know, it's so frustrating. I mean, having bad Wi-Fi is awful. It's just awful. So, but anyway, the update on that woman, I'll just do it briefly for those of you that couldn't hear it or it was just too choppy. I don't have an update on her personally. I don't. I could tell you that I did a lot of digging and stuff like that. Laramie has had sex trafficking issues. They have a task force for it. They have a hotline for it. I did call the hotline. Talked to my U.S. Marshal friend. She kind of explained things to me the way the feds would be the ones to do the investigation, and then the U.S. Marshals could help with the arrest. And unfortunately, she said that it's not uncommon that the local police would know, which is pretty sad to hear, but, you know. So, it's crazy to me that that woman was, you know, saying that they knew and stuff like that. And another thing was that my boss was telling me about different Laramie groups on Facebook. I'm a part of one of them, but there's several. And one of them that she's a part of, 2 days prior to me and her coming into contact with this sex trafficking victim, someone had posted on the Hi Justice Jane. I really hope. Yeah, I said Laramie. Yep. Your last name is Laramie? Okay, well, I'm in Laramie, Wyoming. So, yeah. Justice Jane, feel free to kick the trolls out. Nobody needs them. Worthless people. Sometimes they're funny, but most of the time not. But either way. So, this woman, you know, that I came in contact with, 2 days prior, someone on one of the Laramie groups here, you know, local groups on Facebook, had posted that they went to Safeway here in town and that there was a very weird situation. It was a man that posted, and he said that there was a man with a bunch of like women and young girls, and they were in the Safeway, and he said they were behaving so strangely, not making eye contact with anyone. He just felt like something was really off about that. And so, you know, he posted about it and said, you know, it really seemed like a sex trafficking issue going on. Again, this was only 2 days before I came in contact with that victim. On the live stream I was attempting to do, I was reading off what to look for with human trafficking victims because, you know, as a true crime person, I guess I'll just call myself that, I've like replayed every type of scenario that could possibly happen. Like, you know, what if somebody breaks in my house? What am I going to do? What if somebody tries to steal my child? What if somebody, you know, I've just replayed these things in my head a million times. But one of the things I've never really thought about was, what if I come in contact with a sex trafficking victim? You know, even though I know they exist, you see it on the news, you see it on social media, but when do you actually come in contact with these people, you know? And so it kind of really freaked me out that I didn't know what to do. And when she was telling me that the police knew, that really freaked me out because what do? I mean, you always think emergency, something terrible happened to someone, you call the cops. But no, If somebody's telling you they know, you don't know what to do. So there's specific things that the general public can just um, watch out for. And if you're in specific fields, like myself, I work at a hotel. You work at a hotel, anything kind of really where you're working with the general public, so customer service. I said in the last live stream, I was like, well, if you work a construction job, you're probably not going to come in contact. But that's not true, because I believe that, in Laramie, there are a lot of construction workers, a lot of people up here for work specifically. They're very high paying jobs. It's really why we're here as well. And there's a lot of construction guys here. They're lonely. They stay in the hotels. And they hire sex workers. That's common knowledge, pretty much. And they could be potentially hiring sex trafficking victims, even if they don't know it. They might think that they're just hiring a lady of the night, but really, So, anyway. Thank you, Justice Jane, for being on top of them. I did read out to you guys in the last live stream, but again, it was so choppy and terrible. You probably didn't hear it. But how to spot a sex trafficking victim. And this is just a simple Google search that I did. But I'm gonna read some of the things off to you, because when I looked at this, the very first thing that I noticed was her physical appearance. She had ill-fitting clothes on. They were inappropriate for the weather. And then she showed me this giant Freddy Krueger looking burn mark on the side of her and told me that they set her on fire. And branding is one of them. So here are just some key red flags that you could look for. Again, especially if you are in certain fields of work, okay? Like hotels, grocery stores, you work at Walmart. You might notice something weird. Do not be afraid to report it. It could be nothing, and it could mean everything. So, one of them is, let me speak. So, signs of physical abuse. That's number one. And again, the lady I came in contact with told me they set her on fire, and she had a giant Freddy Krueger thing going down the side of her. They brand them. If you notice they're beat up, stuff like that. If they are submissive, if they're paranoid, even towards police. These traffickers threaten them a lot. They say a lot of things to them. They get inside their head. They're controlling everything that this person does. So they become even paranoid of law enforcement. And unfortunately, sometimes law enforcement looks the other way, even though they know what is happening. If you ask a person a question and they don't answer, or they act like they don't speak English or Spanish, whatever you're talking to them in, but you have an inkling that they do, but the other person is speaking for them or pretending to translate for them, follow your gut. Follow your gut. When someone can never leave their home, or if they're working, because sex trafficking isn't the only thing that people are trafficked for. People are also trafficked for labor. Laramie had one case of labor trafficking last year. It was a male. They had literally taken him captive, and they were making him work, and they would pick him up from the job and drop him off at the job. Even though these people know where they are, they have no other resources to anyone. So they're very reliant on their trafficker. And then they were just taking all of his money. Same thing they do with sex trafficking victims. Have them sleep with men. They prostitute them out. They give them the bare minimum of what they need, which the lady that I came in contact with, because I said, what do they give you, like anything you need? And she said, not anything, just a little bit of food. They give them enough to keep them alive. They give them enough to keep them alive, keep them going. So there's just different things to look for. Or if they do answer you and it appears to be scripted, or if they are inconsistent, like if you say, oh, what state are you from? And they get nervous, or you can tell they start stumbling over their words. They don't have the story down of what they should be saying. There's just different things. But I would overall really say follow your gut, honestly. Follow your gut. If something does not seem right to you, especially, again, if you're a person that works with, a lot of the general public, you kind of know how people are. You know how they behave. And so if something seems off to you, don't be afraid to report it. Don't be afraid to say something, do something about it. The lady that I came in contact with, I did fill out. My U.S. Marshal friend had sent me a form for the FBI. I filled that out. I sent that in. My job was very proactive, and immediately my boss, who is also the GM, she was making everyone watch sex trafficking videos to teach us what to look for, when people come and check in. Something we automatically do anyway, and I'm going to assume most hotels do, but anyone that stays in our rooms, if it's 2 people, 3 people, 4 people, because we usually have double-bedded rooms, we get IDs or passports for every single person that stays in there. So there's just different things, but I'm glad. Jessica, read your chat comments. Okay. Thanks, Mom. Oh, the politickers are in here. Justice Jane, if you could just get rid of, we're not doing politics. We're not doing that. Hi, Grandma. Thank God you're here. Please time out anybody doing any type of political whatever they're doing. That's not what this stream is about. Nothing to do with this stream. So, I mean, people can take their political stuff somewhere else. This isn't the channel or the stream for it. So, please time them out. I don't know what else they have said, Mom. Who knows? Trolls are, people love to act stupid behind a screen just because they can, which, So we're gonna switch gears here. This is where kinda I was at in the last stream. But we're gonna switch gears totally here and start talking about Gypsy Rose Blanchard. I'm not gonna go into all of the stuff. This is not a hate stream about her. In fact, it's something different. The creators that are covering her, there's about 4, I would say about 4 main ones. Sir Morbid, doing a lot of streams about her, a lot of videos about her. Flawless Nina is another one. Katie Joy, Conspiracy, and then there's a couple tarot readers. I can't remember their channels though, but those are the 4 main creators. Flawless Nina in particular is doing these streams about reopening Gypsy's case and recharging her. And, for those of you that really hate her, and there are a lot of people that do, I hate to tell you that is never going to happen. Double jeopardy. Flawless Nina said there's loopholes in double jeopardy. There is not. There is not no loopholes, okay? Gypsy Rose Blanchard will never, ever be charged for the murder of her mother ever again. That is a done case. She pleaded guilty. Okay? She did jail time. In my opinion, and a lot of people's opinion, She got a horrible sentence. It was a slap on the wrist. But we've had to accept OJ, even though most of us know that he was guilty. We had to accept what the jury did. We have to accept that this prosecutor made this deal with Gypsy Rose. He did. We have to accept that Casey Anthony murdered her child, but she roams free. Okay? So we have to accept these things. These creators are inciting so much hate, and that's a whole thing in and of itself. I think that another issue that I have is that these people are taking YouTube stuff real life. You know, they're harassing the parole officers. I've seen comments like, "I've had enough. I can't take this anymore. All this stuff she's doing. I've made a phone call to Missouri, and I've made a phone call to her parole officer." And I'm just thinking to myself, really? So you, lady, that made this comment, you have been intaking so much hate content, speculation content, because is Gypsy in jail? No. How many creators have told you guys that she's going to go to jail any day? I've seen it. She's not in jail, okay? But these people are watching so much of this hate content, they get themselves riled up, and then they start making calls, harassing parole officers, doing all of this kind of stuff. If you are calling a parole officer to tell them about something that you saw online, I have to be honest with you. You need a life. You need to get yourself a life because you don't have one. But these creators that are telling people, you know, the feds are opening up a case against her, and they're going to do this and they're going to do that. Even if they did, I highly doubt it, but even if they did, they will not be charging her with the murder of her mother again. She pleaded out to it. It is done. She served her time. When she gets off parole, it's over. Can the feds charge her with something else? They could. They could. But just because Gypsy Rose is a hot topic on social media doesn't mean that she's on the feds' radar, okay? Again, they just have much bigger fish to fry, in my opinion. If the federal government decides to go after her, I will be surprised, because it's just, you know. And then people they continue on with this justice for Nick, which is really asinine to me. He's a murderer. I know he's low IQ. I know he's not very smart. I'm aware he's autistic. But again, there's plenty of autistic people that don't go and stab someone to death because they want to be with their girlfriend or have sex with her. Okay? These are just not defenses to a murder. A low IQ is not a defense. Autism, not a defense. Nicholas Godejohn has demonstrated multiple times in his interrogation, and even afterwards, that he knew what he did was wrong. He knew that. He knew right from wrong. His mother stated in her interrogation that he had the mind of a 15 or 16-year-old. 15 and 16-year-olds know that stabbing someone to death is wrong. Okay? So they have a full confession from this man. And so when I see people saying justice for Nick, he's still alive. He's the murderer. What about justice for Dee Dee? That's what you should be saying. She got her justice with Nick. She didn't really get her justice with Gypsy. She got 8 years out of Gypsy, which I'll agree with everyone when they say she should still be in jail. But trying to force that, trying to involve yourself with a person that you've never met, you don't know, you're being fed all of this information from these content creators that are just speculating. You know, they might have a couple little inside sources that tell them little crumbs of things, but they do so much speculation, it's crazy. It really is. You know, anything that girl puts out, they rip it right to shreds. Which, I see why people hate her. But just stop giving people false hope and inciting people to do things real life because you don't like her sentence. Stop telling them that there's loopholes in double jeopardy. I promise you that Gypsy Rose Blanchard will never, ever in this country be charged for her mother's murder, not first degree murder. And see, people keep getting confused with that. They're like, oh, well, she was charged with second degree murder. So, can she still be charged with first? No. No. She pleaded to second degree murder for her mother's death. She can never be recharged for that case or retried for that case. It's over. That's how it works. So, and another thing that just irks my little nerve is the content creators that are always saying, she has no business online, she's making money off her dead mother. I don't really disagree with them with that. But, they keep telling her to get offline. I don't know how too far ahead they're thinking with this. Because for some of them, Flawless Nina, Sir Morbid, Gypsy is their sole content. I think Flawless Nina, a couple days ago or something, put out something about P. Diddy, which got very low views because everyone tunes into her, because every single day she does a video about Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Some type of speculation about her, some type of hot tea that I don't even really find tea. But, I don't think they're thinking about this, because if Gypsy does decide to get offline, well, how are you going to make money? Because she is your sole content, And then, they're crying, Flawless Nina and Sir Morbid and the conspiracy lady, they're having these meltdowns because Gypsy struck their channels for using some of her content. She struck their channels, and they were really, all in an uproar about that, and saying, you're taking away money from a single mom, and and I'm just thinking in my head, your content is her. She's taking away your money. Your whole money, if that is your money that you're supporting your children with, it's her. I'm not really surprised she struck you, honestly. I mean, if you did a video on me every single day speculating about my life that you know nothing about, really, and I don't talk to you personally, or I don't have anything to do with you, I don't know. I mean, I might strike your channel too. Who knows? But I've never struck anyone. And no one's ever struck me. But it's just the point of how the irony. How dare you strike our channels that we only do bad content about you. You're taking money away out of my kid's mouth. And it's just kind of like, well, get new content then. I mean, So just the irony of it, I guess, is annoying. And then one last thing with Flawless Nina. I watched a live stream of her today. I don't remember how long it was. I think it was like 3 minutes. It could have been longer. I'm not sure. I think it was like 3 minutes though. Well, no. I think this one was maybe... I don't know. The title of it was Gypsy Rose Blanchard Got Away with Murder. Okay? And in that, she's talking about they need to reopen her case, retry her, all that. But then she says, you know what? I hope you have your baby in jail. I said it. And I don't care who it offends. And I'm sitting here looking at this screen like, did you really just say that? You really just said that. So because Gypsy Rose committed murder, or orchestrated murder, that gives you a license to wish for an innocent baby to be born in jail. I can understand you not liking Gypsy. I get that part. But this is an innocent child. So why on earth would you let your hatred for Gypsy spill over onto a baby that hasn't even taken its first breath? Being born in a jail is horrific. You should never wish that on any child. You know, girl, that's what she said. Girl, I hope you have your baby in jail. That's a hell of a thing to say. So if we're going to do this whole morality thing, well, I think you need to check yourself. Because that was just really uncalled for. Am I offended by it? No. I'm taken aback by it that you have stood on this moral high grounds. But here you are wishing this innocent baby be born in a prison. That's a no. That's a negative Ghost Rider. Okay? So, but yeah, just if you're intaking a lot of the Gypsy Rose stuff, don't let it consume you. Honestly, don't let that crap consume you. Because listen, these creators, they will piss you off. You'll get so mad, like, oh my God, this girl, she's just doing all of these things. But when you look at reality, has she violated probation officially? No. She back in jail? No. She did some really immoral crap, is what she did, and people don't like it. She cheated on her husband. She ran back to the ex-fiance, and she's pregnant by him, and she's still married, and these are the things that people have real issues with. And I get it. I don't blame you. I think what she did was horrible. But it's like a comment I seen not too long ago, and it was on one of my streams. And someone was saying, this person should be in jail because they said mean things. That's not a crime. Saying mean things online, well, at least in this country, if you go to the UK, you might get locked up. Because they're locking people up over there, literally, for saying bad stuff online. In the United States, we're heavy on the free speech. So, I don't support what you're saying, but I'll always support your right to say it. So saying mean things online is just, it's not a crime. Nobody should be going to jail because they hurt somebody's feelings. I mean, unless, bullying, there's a fine line with that. But yeah, it's almost like nowadays people want people put in jail for like everything. This person did something I don't like, lock them up. Just calm your horses, okay? Calm down. You can't be putting people in jail for stuff like that. Let's see what you guys' comments are. I can't really see my phone. It's so sunny out here. Ugh, let me lift my glasses. I really can't see. Thank you for that, Grandma. Willow is above and beyond ancestor reading. I never followed that case. Oh, well, it's a doozy. It is a doozy. If you go down the rabbit hole, just try to keep your wits about you, because there's a lot of people that aren't able to do that. Hi, can I get your number? No. Let's see. Yeah, it's really strange, because when I did the first live stream about the sex trafficking victim, I had an insane amount of trolls that I never have. And now, I haven't put a title on this, but I was StreamYarding, and that was the title, the update on the sex trafficking victim. And it's really weird how many trolls that I've gotten with that title. I feel like that's very weird, So, let's see. Willow, above and beyond ancestors. LOL, I have seen a creator trying to sue another creator over hurt feelings. It's hilarious. Oh, gosh. Honestly. I've told Grandma this. I never started a YouTube channel I started a YouTube channel to talk about true crime. And that's what I like to do. But how people start YouTube channels and end up in court and all this kind of crazy stuff, how did you get there? Like, did you not at some point say, this is getting really toxic. Maybe I need to change course. Maybe I need to, do something different here because this is getting wild. Or there's just the really simple option of ignoring. You could always do that. You are not forced to watch any content on YouTube. So if somebody is making bad videos about you or talking crap about you, you don't have to watch that crap. Salty Pancakes did a live stream about me. I never tuned into it once. I don't care, So there's always that option, and that kind of gets me with the gypsy haters, because they almost act like it's her fault that they're watching all of this hateful content and getting themselves all riled up and then going real life and harassing parole officers and things like that. They almost act like it's her fault. No, it's your fault. You're taking this content. You're getting yourself incited. You're letting these creators do the same to you. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again, that they report every single day on Gypsy something about her, anything about her. And it makes it seem like she's living this just fantastical, drama-filled life. Maybe she is. But I don't think anybody's life is that damn dramatic where somebody has... Sorry about that, I almost dropped my phone. Where somebody has that much craziness, going on. I mean, unless you're Kiosk Kristen. I don't think you do. Okay, so... Yeah, here's Willow. I'm trying to read my screen. Oh, I think I missed something. Oh my gosh, Willow, are you serious? Willow is saying, first live ever, Judge kicked me out of the Zoom, had no idea what I was doing. That is so funny. Do you guys remember, what case was it? What case was it? Duty Ron. Was it Dylan Rounds? I think it was Dylan Rounds. Do you guys remember Duty Ron? He had his mic on, and he had like a hot mic. Do you guys remember that? It was so bad, right in the court proceedings. He's live streaming and talking. I was like, oh my God, Duty Ron. He didn't get in trouble for it, I don't think. But yeah, it was a little snafu there. Oh, he's a mess. I wish I could see these comments better. I'm telling you, the sun is glaring on me. Oh, you guys are... Thank you, Justice Jane. Thank you, Grandma, for getting rid of the people with no lives. That's what I think they are. I'm just... my mom is saying, do the Daryl Brooks trial. Oh, I think that's been done a lot, Mom. One of the trials that I'm getting interested in is the Carly Gregg. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. Someone's having trouble with their vehicle. That is very loud. It's not going to start, girl. Just give it up. Okay. This lady is having serious issues. Anyway, I think she's going to stop. I think she's realized her truck is not going to start for her right now. But anyway, listen, if it's not Wi-Fi issues, it's my neighbors that can't get their car started. It's always something, guys. It's always something. But the case that has been catching my attention lately is the Carly Gregg case. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, 14-year-old. Do I need to put my Karen hat on? Should I put my Karen hat on and say, ma'am, your truck's not going to start? Okay, you're ruining my live stream here. You need to call somebody. I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. It's just in my head. I would like to do that, but it's pretty rude. I'm not going to do it. But anyway, it's the Carly Gregg case. She's 14 years old. She wanted to murder her mother and her stepfather. Lady. And she was successful in murdering her mother. She shot her 3 times. She got her mother's phone and texted her stepdad and said, "What time are you going to be home?" And he came home. He told her. And when he came home, she shot him as well. But he lived. She also, before her stepdad got home, she called one of her friends and said, "Hey, do you want to see what a dead body looks like?" So she had her friend come over and view her mother's dead body. Okay. And I think what makes this even crazier is her mother was a teacher at her school, and she was, well known, her and her mom. She got good grades. Okay, son, have a good time fishing. Jace is off to go fishing. You going to Huck Fin Pond? Okay. Love you. Just gonna go do a little fishing. But anyway, so yeah, she showed her friend her mother's dead body and all of that, which is very strange. She's pleading insanity. The state tried to offer her a deal because, again, she's 14. They tried to offer her, I don't remember. It was a lot of years. Whole lot of years. I don't know if it was 40 years, 50, 60 years. It was a lot of years. But she turned it down. She didn't take the plea bargain. She's ready to go to trial. So the judge told her, you do realize if you don't take this plea deal, that you could be sentenced to life without parole. She said yes. So they're going to go to trial. There were rumors that her stepdad was doing something to her sexually. And again, just rumors. I haven't seen any concrete evidence of that. That hasn't really been talked about. Any news reports I've seen of it, I haven't seen anything mentioned of that. And she is pleading insanity. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm interested in her case. What causes a 14-year-old? And I guess she was close to her mother. That's kind of the weird part. And she killed her. Why? Or is she really insane? I don't know. I don't even feel like that's a defense. I feel like if you're that insane that you just haul off and kill people, I still think you belong in jail. Grandma, eyes just rolled out of my skull. Oh, yeah. Well, shockingly, I'm glad I didn't put my Karen hat on and make an ass of myself because her truck started. So I don't know if she's just got to do that 50 times and then it works somehow. But it did start. She did pull away. So there you go. Let's see. Yes, Willow. Yes, the girl, she has the short, dark bangs. Oh, was it 40 years? Okay. So 40 years. If she's 14, she'd get out when she was 54. You could still have some sort of life, I guess. But if she gets 93 years, I mean, that's life. You'll never be outside again. It'll be interesting. I just feel like that case, I feel like there's a lot more under the surface. I want to see what's going to come out more about her. And I feel like the trial is going to be interesting. I don't know why. I just want to see what's going on with this chick. Oh, and also for my Daybell people, my Lori Vallow, Chad Daybell case. I don't know if you guys saw or not, but the property was bought by Chad Daybell's property was bought by a non-profit organization, and I guess they're gonna make a park. They have plans for it, which I think is lovely. I think it's lovely. It's going to be in honor of JJ and Tylee. So I think that's a really great thing, that that house was sold to a nonprofit. Probably the best thing John Pryor could have ever did. Get Emma's crazy self out of there. But I am really happy that that's happening. That's a good. I think that's a very positive thing. So, but that's all I really have for you guys today. I think I've gotten all my rants out and the update out and all of that. I'll title this video once I end it. But I guess I'm just gonna be going live on my phone now, because my laptop is just not picking up the Wi-Fi out here, and it's too choppy. The only problem with that is that I like to show you guys things, different videos, different information. I can't do that when I go live just straight through my phone, straight through YouTube. So that's a bit of a problem. But again, Tyler wants to buy Starlink, and at this point, I'm down with it. We'll have Wi-Fi anywhere we go. So, yeah. But all right, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and I will see you all later. So bye for now. Let me try to end this live stream. I always have trouble ending the live streams for some reason. This button? Nope. Yes. Okay, bye guys.